All right, it's Christmas time, so I figured I'd talk a little bit about Batman Returns, which is kind of a Christmas movie, but not really. I mean, it takes place around Christmas time, so I guess that's good enough for me. And it has to be the weirdest Batman movie ever made, and that's really saying something. I think most people think that Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are weirder, but I don't think they are. They're just more campy than Batman Returns. So I'm going to go over some of the weirdness bullet points in this video because almost everything about Batman Returns is just nonsense. I mean, right off the bat, it starts off with Baby Penguin being thrown into a sewer by Pee Wee Herman. And not only does he survive, but he ends up being raised by actual penguins who somehow manage to live in the sewers of Gotham City. I mean, what are penguins doing in the sewers? It's insanity. And years later, some rich tyrant named Max Schreck is given some kind of speech with all kinds of cringy platitudes. And some circus freaks show up and start busting balls. And then naturally, Batman makes his first appearance, along with Commissioner Gordon, who, for some reason, is riding around in squad cars. I mean, I guess he's a very hands-on police commissioner. And Max Schreck ends up in the sewers and meets the Penguin for the first time. And they become fast partners, for some reason. And once the Penguin finds out that his real name is Oswald Cobblepot, Schreck wants him to run for mayor of Gotham for some reason. I guess so he can have somebody corrupt that he can manipulate in some way? I don't know. It's never really explained. And Schreck's secretary, Selina Kyle, guesses the password on Schreck's computer and discovers that he's got a power plant scheme of some sort. But weirdly, she's not bothered by this. And she even nonchalantly tells him that she knows about it. And he pushes her out of a fucking window. She falls like 10 stories to her death, where she is immediately revived by a bunch of magic cats. No explanation is given. It just fucking happens. And then she goes nuts for nearly 5 minutes of the running time, where she spray paints a dollhouse and puts her stuffed animals in the garbage disposal. And then she makes her costume and becomes Catwoman. I mean, what an origin story, right? I mean, holy shit. And later, Schreck gives Oswald a fish that looks like it's right out of the Hudson River. I mean, it's disgusting. And then he begins to eat it, which is even more fucking disgusting. And while this is happening, Schreck officially introduces Oswald as candidate for mayor. And then he proceeds to bite this guy's nose off, which you'd think it would be a kind of a scandal, but it's not. You know, this was marketed as a kid's movie. They had Happy Meal toys and everything. God, I miss the 90s. It was like the Wild West. And Batman is dealing with all these weird circus freaks that are running loose in town, who are working for the Penguin, by the way, but they're somehow keeping it a secret. I mean, I have so many questions. Are they getting paid? How did the Penguin recruit them? What the fuck are they getting out of this arrangement? And Batman might be able to find out some of this vital information if he would actually question one of the gang members, but he never does. What does he do? Oh, he murders them.
Yeah, go ahead and hit me.
I mean, it's hilarious and psychotic all at the same time. I mean, all the dude said was hit me. And Batman decided to put a bomb in his jockstrap and blow his balls to Kingdom Come. And this is where Batman officially meets the Penguin for the first time. And for some reason, Oswald stops pretending to be a good guy who's running for mayor. And he says things like, "You don't really think you'll win, do you?" I mean, win what? Batman doesn't even have any proof that he's a bad guy yet at this point. So why is he outing himself as a total asshole? I mean, it just makes no sense. And this is where Catwoman shows up for the first time. So the three main characters meet each other, and she begins fighting with Batman for literally no reason. She has zero reason to hate Batman. He saves her life earlier in the movie. But they gotta fight, I guess, because she's in the rogues gallery and whatnot. I don't know. And then later, the Penguin is doing a little campaigning, despite the fact that any election would be nearly a year away. And then this scene happens.
Mr. Cobblepot, you are the coolest role model a young person could have.
And you're the hottest young person a role model could have. Here. Wear a button. Let me just get it on there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can really get into this meta stuff. It's not about power. It's about reaching out to people, touching people, groping people.
I mean, holy shit, that was cringe, wasn't it? That was creepy as fuck. But I guess he's a typical politician. He meets all the criteria, apparently. And for some reason, Catwoman shows up. And she teams up with Penguin. I guess. Again, I don't really understand the point of this. Neither one of them have much reason to go after Batman, especially her. He doesn't know shit about either one of them. He's the world's most dogshit detective. And Penguin gets really creepy with Catwoman. And their partnership ends up being short-lived, to say the least. Really short-lived.
Please. I wouldn't touch you to scratch you.
You lousy minx! I ought to have you spayed! You sent out all the signals! And I don't think I like you anymore! Goodbye, my unintended. Go to heaven.
I mean, holy shit. The Penguin really is like a proto-incel. You lousy minx! I don't like you anymore! Get out of here! I mean, it's so fucking strange. And then Oswald is making a speech. Again, we're 11 months out from this fucking election. Give it a rest. And Batman plays some audio of the Penguin.
You gotta admit, I played this stinking city like a harp from hell. You gotta admit, I played this stinking city like a harp from hell.
Okay, I know that sounds bad, but by today's standards, that's nothing. Imagine how much better the world would be if saying, I played this stinking city was enough to sink a political career. I mean, if that happened today, the guy would just say, well, that was fake news. I never really said that, even though you have a recording of it. He would just deny it until it goes away. And then everyone starts throwing lettuce and tomato at the Penguin. I mean, what the fuck is going on here? Does everyone in this crowd work in the produce section of the local supermarket? I mean, it's a cartoon. It's insane. And then Penguin just embraces being outed as a bad guy. He threatens the firstborn of everyone in Gotham. Again, it's marketed as a kid's movie. And he straps rockets to his Penguin army. I mean, what the fuck is up with these penguins, first of all? They're probably thinking, what the fuck am I doing in a sewer in the middle of Gotham City where the lowest the temperature gets is probably 20 degrees? What the fuck am I doing here? And why is Danny DeVito strapping rockets to my back and asking me to go blow shit up? What is happening? I'm basically just a frosty little chicken. Let me go home. And, basically the movie's wrapping up at this point. Max Schreck gets fried. Selena Kyle dies, but she's okay because it's revealed she actually has 9 lives. Never explained how that happens. They just took a page, from the J.J. Abrams playbook. And then the Penguin dies, and he's carried off. Yes, carried off by a group of penguin pallbearers. It's madness. What a strange movie. It's almost like they told Tim Burton, we want you to come back and do a sequel to Batman because the first one was so great and made so much money. And he's like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. But this time it's going to be weird as fuck because I'm weird as fuck. And it's going to make no sense and be set at Christmas time for no reason. and it's going to have penguins and shit in it, and the main character is going to have no character arc or development whatsoever because even Batman isn't weird enough for me. And they were like, we love it. You're hired. Let's do it. I mean, everything from lines like, mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it. Who the fuck eats mistletoe? Is that a thing? Is that a saying? A lot of Christmas shit can be deadly if you eat it. Don't eat my Christmas tree, okay? You know, don't eat my stockings. It's deadly if you eat it. Hey, you know that wreath I hung on my door? It's not a bagel. Don't take a bite out of it. I mean, it's just a really silly movie. And we're really only forgiving of it because we like Michael Keaton as Batman. And the movies that follow it were a joke. But anyway, that's all I got for now. Thanks for indulging me in my inane, pointless babble. And happy holidays and whatnot. Merry Christmas. Happy Festivus. Happy New Year. Whatever you celebrate. I hope Krampus brings you something nice. And yeah, watch out for politicians. Especially penguin politicians. Because they'll get you.
Well, come what may. Merry Christmas, Mr. Wayne.
Merry Christmas, Albert. Goodwill toward men and women.
Ointment. Scented or unscented?
I'll come back later.
Perchance